player 2. Alright, so we're starting in this game 1, Joker versus Jigglypuff. I was kind of expecting the Mario. Mario just has those really fast normals and aerials to, you know, kind of contest Jigglypuff. But I'm assuming he's most comfortable with Joker. Especially because he has that really good recovery, but Pneumatic is just going to snuff it out anyways. I haven't seen Pneumatic too much, but every time I do, it's just like absolutely crazy. He'll take stocks left and right. Granted, Jigglypuff isn't considered one of the best characters, so people kind of sleep on him. Don't have too much matchup experience, I assume. She's also just kind of difficult to deal with because she can just kind of exist in the air right in front of you. Pneumatic's sitting at about 100%, but you know, still getting this extra credit. Granted, it is a little bit, but every percent counts. Pneumatic gonna stall a little bit. Make sure he doesn't have too much time with Arsene, draining that meter away from him. And he's going to find his way back on stage, but he's sitting at 150%, so this is a little bit scary, and Malco's going to take that first stock off of Pneumatic with that downer. Yeah, this is already a pretty crazy game. They're kind of just, you know, doing what they like to do best. Pneumatic gonna try and catch that landing with the back air, and he catches the air dodge with the Nair sweet spot. You only get around 110%. But I mean, when you're far, granted they weren't even that far off stage, but when you're off stage, Jigglypuff strives in the air. She's just gonna kill relatively early. Ooh, Pneumatic almost catching that tech roll away. Malco able to get his shield up. And there we go. That was crazy. That did not look like it should have hit. Malco hit with like the very end of that up smash, like behind him. Now I feel like on paper, Jigglypuff is like, you know, doesn't have that sword. Kind of has that back air and forward air and the side V, obviously, you know, get in. But it can be kind of tough because like your hitboxes are pretty on top of your hitbox. But I mean, Pneumatic is just really good at keeping that pressure up because as soon as he gets one hit, he'll carry it into another one. And if it's not true, he'll just find a way to pressure, and he's gonna take that last stock with Nair. But yeah, like I said, Pneumatic just has those buttons, like, truthfully. Jigglypuff just, you know, as we all know, can just string aerials into each other. And it looks like Malco's gonna go Wolf. Alright. Kind of an interesting choice, because I feel like Malco is getting kind of dominated off stage. Sorry, just changing the score there. But yeah, Malco was kind of just, you know, getting killed off stage. His options were getting snuffed off stage. even with a character like Joker and, you know, a pretty solid recovery. But every time Pneumatic was just able to find their way, and now he's playing a Wolf. Yeah, that's kind of like what I expected. Like Wolf, his recovery has pretty crazy hitboxes. But I mean, if you're well versed in the matchup, you can easily just kill Wolf and just snuff out his recovery option. And with a character like Jigglypuff, you can just kind of hang out off stage, and if you miss the opportunity, you can quickly come back to stage and apply pressure again. Now, I will say one thing that Malco has in this matchup compared to the other one is, of course, that he has that down smash at ledge, the forward tilt at ledge, the down tilt. He's just able to, you know, there you go, exactly what I was saying. Able to catch that recovery option from Pneumatic, even though he's going to try an up B to, you know, latch onto the ledge and apply some form of pressure with that sing to make sure that Malco doesn't feel too comfortable at that ledge. But that forward tilt just reaches so far. And Pneumatic going to find that backer to close out the second stock. Yeah. As you know, Wolf can, you know, string his own combos, and his aerials are pretty cracked as well. Especially that forward air, and that backer is just such a heavy hitter. It hits like a truck. But we haven't really seen that in this matchup yet. Granted, I haven't seen too much of forward air. It just kind of seems like he's playing neutral, and Pneumatic's just not really giving him any opportunity to, you know, extend his advantage state. Malco's going to come back to stage, and he finds the back air. Malco is like, he's kind of like reading my mind. Maybe you can hear me. We are, granted, we are like 10 feet away, so. This is still kind of scary for him though, because he's sitting at 105. He can still bring it back. I like to think that percent is just rage. That way you don't get too scared, but you do have to be cautious. So yeah, if Malco can find a few hits into a back air, or just a heavy hitting move in general, this could look like his game, but Pneumatic is, even though he's not really in control right now, he's pretty ahead. Yeah, and there you go, that nair.
No, not the bow, the flower, my bad. No, it's a good word. That's the best one. That's my best.
Pneumatic having a dispute over which Jigglypuff skin is the best. He doesn't like the flower one. I really like that flower Jigglypuff. That's the one I use. The straw hat is pretty good though. If it had a red band on it, I would definitely be a fan of it though. Alright, Malco's gonna bring it right back to Wolf. I seriously think Mario would be a good decision. Because if Pneumatic kind of just hits his shield with his aerials, you know, he has that up smash to, you know, tell him to get off of me. If he decides to go past him, he has that back air, that really fast back air. That is just one situation though. Because I know Mario does have a bit of a linear recovery, so Pneumatic's gonna easily snuff him out, get a kill. Yeah, and there you go. The relatively early stock coming from Pneumatic. That was like the main concern I had with Wolf. And it happened last game too, where Wolf can go off stage, but most of the time he's going off stage with Nair, right? Most of the time if he goes for any other option, it's a lot more risky. And it can be scary for the little player because now he has to double jump, burn that double jump, and make it back to stage. And as soon as I say that, Pneumatic is going to snuff out that double jump attempt to get back on the stage. Pneumatic is so good, so proficient off stage, really. But I mean, you have to be when you're playing a character like Jigglypuff. Oh, wait a second. Pneumatic gonna find that stock to end out the set.